Alright, today, or this tutorial, I'm going to teach you a little bit about JavaScript. And to demonstrate that, I'm going to open up one of my files already that has JavaScript on it. I'm going to open up contacts.php. There we go. I hate how slow this takes to actually load up, but alright. As you can see, that's my index page. What I really want to do, there we go, contacts page right there. And as you can see, this tag, script tag, type text JavaScript, I created a function named SP and put the parameter I so that I could input something there. And basically, the I just does that and gives a location. So whenever we click the button, which is the button tag, and we click it, it goes to our function up here and redirects it to this page. And of course, the name of the button is home. And I gave it an ID equals button so that I could go up here in CSS coding and position that button 10 pixels left and 10 pixels from the top. And I made it an absolute position so it can't change. I mean, that's pretty simple. But let me demonstrate how this works. Function, and then the function name, whatever you want to call it. And then if there's no parameter in there, just need the brackets to fill in what you want the function to do. And in our case, in the case of SP, we wanted it to do window dot location. And we did equals I. And of course, in order for this function to work, you actually had to put I there. And well, bam. Now, if we put an attribute for the button or whatever, we put the tag, tag, which would be button. And then we were to just say on click equals, and you have to put this in quotation marks. And I need to rename my function to the one in this tutorial. So SP. So on click SP, and then I think it's one quote, name of the file dot whatever HTML or .php file, or whatever the file name is. And you just close off the attribute, name it whatever, name a button. Now that'll show up to the user, so they'll see this part, name of button. And then you just want to close off the button tag with that. And there you go. Simple button that redirects you to name of a file. Very simple. Now with JavaScript you can also put variables and name the variable whatever you want. Name of variable then you say equals like 1, and it's kind of like C++ because you got to have that semicolon to stop it, and that's something I forgot to do up here, which would not have worked. If I was doing that, it wouldn't have shown up at all. But you can make that for like timer scripts and things like that, and do like plus plus the name of the variable, plus plus name of variable to make some type of timer, and like then put some type of sleep function for like a second, like would be 100 because it works in milliseconds, and you go bam. But you'd create a function that basically you'd put this code from here down into the function. The variable doesn't need to be in the function, and then you can set basically it to print out by using the ID tag and say ID enter HTML so it knows where to put it. And there you go. In the simplest form is, we go to, like I learned this through W3 schools, so let me see if I can get it. W3 schools, I learned a lot of this stuff from this site here. And I learned, JavaScript. I learned PHP. I learned through books and through online. But this is probably one of the better tutorials. Best place to actually learn Java, CSS. You have all this stuff you can learn from this one site. And let's go, and I'm gonna go and edit my index page, and I'm gonna put some PHP scripting in for the hell of it. I'm gonna put let's see, should be question mark PHP, and then it's been a while since I've done this, and then you can say echo, and then we can say echo your IP address is, and then to add we have to put hate this, the dot in this language is the add. So, and then server, server dash, and it would be remote underscore ADR, which stands for address. And then I'm pretty sure we have to do this in the script too, and then close it off with that. And now I can do a break, and then we can save it, and then we can go to our local host, which you can either type, I think you can type localhost, and there we go. And look, here's your IP address is 127.0.0.1, which is the local host address. Since we're logging into our own server on our own computer, that's what it will be. But if somebody else were viewing it from a remote location from a different IP address, their IP address would show up there. And that's how simple that really is. And PHP has the ability to do email as an email function, so you can, and you mix it with a form and you get stuff from it, so you can actually send information from a form to the information in the form to your email or to a specific email that you say, which can be useful in contact pages if you really want to do that. Send it directly to your email. Or PHP has the ability to log into a database like MySQL Server and store data there. Like if you want to register usernames and passwords, and then have them log in using their account with that username and password, you want to store it in the database, which PHP can connect to the server, and it has a MySQL Connect function, so you can automatically do that, and it has parameters like where the address of the PHP server, the username, and this is the admin username for the MySQL server or MySQL database, and then you got to have the password for it to work. And but there's another way to do it in jQuery, which is JavaScript, has a way to implement that as well, to use JavaScript to actually contact and get information and store information into a database to where it can be collected, or the information can be used, which is very useful in most sites. JavaScript and PHP are pretty much mainly used to do a lot of information, and they have different other scripting languages that have possibilities as well, like Python and Ruby can be put into it, but I'm not really going to cover that because I really don't know much of it. I know more PHP and JavaScripting, so I'm just going to teach you what I know on that, and you'll have to do research on yourself. But this is kind of the basics of creating what you want, make your website look a little nifty. You really want to make your website look nifty, you can add all sorts of different HTML tags, which probably I will not be covering. Maybe at a later date I will cover some more tags and some more unique stuff that you can do to gloss over your website, like CSS coding, which I've shown you in Contacts, allows you to position things absolute position and position them on the page. Like the button, we can position in the left hand corner, only 10 pixels off the left and 10 pixels off the top. Now you'd either have right or left, top or bottom attributes. So I could switch left to right 10 pixels and it'll show up 10 pixels from the right and 10 pixels from the top. Or I can do it from the bottom and do left 10 pixels from the left and 10 pixels from the bottom, so it'll show up at the bottom. And that's how you can do it. And you do it right, say right 10 pixels from the right and 10 pixels from the bottom. Same way you would do it that way. So that's pretty easy, but CSS can do a lot of neat little layouts and stuff of that nature, whereas other HTML doesn't really have that type of style. It does have styles built into it, but CSS just makes it look nicer and a lot easier. It's designed more for style and design than HTML is. HTML just has basic kind of style into it, whereas CSS is designed for style. And CSS, if you notice, kind of looks a little bit like JavaScript, that it has the semicolons to end each sentence, just like JavaScript and PHP does, because they need to know basically where to end. And in C++ coding is the same way, so I guess they kind of took that all from C++ programming language. But it's really quite simple to design yourself a website, and this is really basic website, but at least it makes your website look halfway decent and more professional. And the more stuff you implement and the better you use the tags and you use the CSS coding, the better your website's going to look. And JavaScript has animation ability to where when you click on stuff or move your mouse over it or move your mouse out, attributes that allow it to change pictures, kind of add animation, or you can set little timers to where the picture will go into a little loop basically. It'll go from one picture to the next and the next until you say to stop. I mean, but these things all add to your website to make them look better, feel better for people that you're designing it for, or maybe even for your own business. But the fact is that I use WAMP server, which is, you can get WAMP from their website, and all it is Apache, MySQL, and PHP support all together. So you don't have to configure each one of them to work together. So it's done automatically, and that makes your life a little bit easier. And there's Apache server builds for Ruby on Rails and stuff like that. And I mean, I really don't know Ruby, but Ruby is a scripting language. It's a programming language as well, and so is Python. And Google uses Python for doing some of its Google searches and web crawlers, so I can go and find stuff. And they've been using that for a while. But you can add different scripts to make your website look better and basically get you money. If you're working for somebody else, they want to have a nice looking site. It helps to know JavaScript. It helps to know PHP. It helps to know CSS. I mean, these things are really necessary to make a really good looking website and have all the nice little features that people that would employ you would want to see. Otherwise, you're just creating a basic HTML with just words and maybe a picture here and there and maybe centered. And that's not really what people are looking for when they're doing web design anymore. They want all the flashy, and also I forgot to mention Flash, Player, ActionScript, which I don't know much about, but I'm probably going to have to learn it pretty soon, and I'll probably do tutorials when I do learn it, or while I'm learning it, which will be kind of cool. And I know a little bit of actual Java programming, so I mean, you got a back end you can make with PHP servers. I mean, you can basically implement programs to do some of the back end work and have your PHP scripts connect to the back end server or service that you want, so they can bring back information. Like a example of that was a IRC based website, basically a web IRC client made by Mibit.com, and what it does is JavaScript, and it looks really, really nice, and it connects to a Java based server that connects to each one of the IRC servers. And it's really neat because of it. Basically, the Java server that this guy made basically sends information to the JavaScript so that it can display it on your website, so you can actually see that you're chatting to somebody, and you can see the channel and all that. And that's really, really cool. And I mean, I really want to get to that level, and but this is more of the basics, and I'm sorry, but I'm not covering the advanced stuff right now. But I will sooner or later when I get to that level, or a better level of understanding of that, and I start implementing it, and then I will start showing it in my videos. But until then, we'll just do the basics, and I will learn the rest on this side. But for now, I hope you learned a little bit of something, and I hope that you can create some better websites and demonstrated how that worked. So good luck to you guys, and please subscribe to my channel.